Hello and welcome to the Big Bank Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
Dan, we had a wild night at St James Park last night. It was topsy-turvy.
First evening kick-off of the season, I think, or in the league.
In the league. I was well up for it. I was excited. Felt busy. I queued for ages to get in. Wasn't that busy inside.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just came at the end because I got there about, 7:30 and there was basically no queue.
Former big club Reading were there.
Yeah, Shane Long's Reading.
Leroy Leiter's Reading.
Yeah. Nearly Paul Tisdale's Reading.
Oh, yeah. More about him in a minute. But
lots more.
So, well, where do we start with this? It was a different lineup. Colwell tried something out. 4 at the back, Cox and Aitchison up front, and
yeah, I mean,
Mustafa Carriel on the left, wasn't it?
Mistake, wasn't it? But
not Mustafa. He was the best thing about the first half.
Yeah, well, going forward, he was.
Yeah,
but I think that left us. I think something about that combination of on that side left us kind of a bit like weak on that side as well. It was all wrong.
We didn't have to wait long to see how wrong, did we?
We didn't. Within a minute, our unscored against run,
clean sheet run.
So yeah, that's what they call clean sheet run. Came to an end.
Came crashing down upon us as John Lee tried to play it from the back.
John Lee, someone who I trust him to play my own baby out from the back.
Good.
Ordinarily.
Yes.
Messed it up. I mean, Reading had it right. They looked at us and thought that this is what this team do. If let's pile the pressure on them straight away, catch them, not warmed up into the kind of tippy-tappy.
Yeah.
And it worked. And then nick the ball off him and nothing Whitworth could do.
No,
bottom
it was a good
corner.
finish, wasn't it? That's right. He was in a lot of space in the box.
This lad Wareham, who did a little backflip.
Yeah. That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Well, Milenic Ali does it, and I think he looks cool. But I don't know why this little kind of ratty-looking white man doing it made me think the complete opposite.
I think thing number one, if you're going to do a backflip, play it cool. Don't then come and shout at the crowd.
Well, I always get a bit confused by that kind of thing because we hadn't had time to do anything to Reading to upset them.
No.
So I don't know why they've all seemed quite like, I don't know. Maybe it was a tactic, just straight away kind of rile up the opposition fans. I don't know, but anyway, we're 1-0 down.
1-0 down immediately.
1 minute in.
Yeah.
And it didn't get any better from there, really.
No. Do you remember Shrewsbury the other day? We scored an early goal and then we sat back.
Yeah.
Reading did the opposite of that, didn't they?
Yeah, we couldn't get a foothold in it. We couldn't get it out of the defence, really.
No.
It looked a bit more side to sidey, a la last season.
Yeah. They were pressuring us. We were making mistakes because of the pressure.
Yeah.
Couldn't see where to play the ball, could we?
There was a couple of times we managed to kind of get down the lines with Niskanen on the right and Carriel down the left. But Carriel put in 3 decent crosses in the first half. I think perhaps towards the end of the first half, actually, that was when after Colwell had mixed things up a bit. But yeah, nothing was sticking, and we looked dodgy, dodgy.
We did look dodgy.
They looked very good, which in the first half they were really good. Like, they're just coming off the weekend where they won 4-1, so their away form has been poor, but they were up for it. And I thought they look good. Like, at the end of the first half, I thought I feel like that's the best team we've played.
Yes, it was 2-0, wasn't it? So we conceded a second when someone has a shot, Kramer blocks it.
It's a bit bad luck, really. If Kramer doesn't touch it, it goes harmlessly into Whitworth's hands and nothing happens. He doesn't realise that that's the case, and safety first, just kind of almost rebounds off him. Really, Kramer kind of kicks it away from the goal. It falls straight to a different Reading player.
Yeah.
Don't know name. And he smashed it in.
We slots it home because Whitworth's lying down because he's made the dive.
Yeah,
for the first
yeah.
shot. Yeah.
It's just a bit of. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's pure. It's not like pure luck, but it's like
It's unlucky on our
unlucky
part, I
one
would say,
for us. Yeah, and then we're 2-0 down, and we're a bit kind of like, oh, well, that was coming, and we're getting absolutely steamrollered here.
Yeah.
And then it was, like I said, Colwell did change things at about half hour mark, but really, as much as we did manage to get a few balls into the box, we could not. Like Sonny Cox, I mean, obviously started the game, and he is a passenger.
Yeah.
He's a passenger, and I don't. There's a few factors, isn't there? There's one. He's young. He's inexperienced. He's just come back off an injury. Hasn't played many games. I don't think he can do the lone striker kind of thing, which essentially he kind of was, even at when it was kind of a 4-4-2, because Aitchison's not there up there alongside him, and even if he was, he's not the kind of foil you'd want for for someone like Cox. I wouldn't have thought. But yeah, it looked more like, if anything, that Reading were going to get a third than us to score.
Indeed. Yeah, they were all over us, weren't they? Like, we couldn't get it out.
They looked strong and they looked quick, and their press was impressive. It was one of those matches where you are watching it and you can't work out why it feels like they've got one more player than you at all times. I think that's maybe because when we were in possession, they went like kind of narrower, we just didn't have, and you're risking like the outlet there, which were on the wings with Niskanen and Carriol, which we did manage to get to a bit. But what you do is just by doing that, you suffocate the middle, and so it gave Francis, Woods, Macmillan, Aitchison just less opportunity to actually kind of affect anything in the middle. There was one time when Aitchison got in behind in front of their back four and was able to have a shot, but there's the one time he got that ball in that area in the first half at all.
Niskanen had one shot as well, didn't he? Which I know is coming in from the side. And you're right, it looked kind of hopeless at half time.
Yeah, he's playing on the right hand side at this point in the first half. Yeah,
but it was a portent of things to come.
Well, given that the week before Colwell changed things when we were winning, I've seen pretty sure, and obviously given how bad it was last night in the first half, I thought he will do something here. This is clearly not right. Everyone was expecting McGuinness, and we got him.
Yep.
And then also Melenik Ali came on for Carriol.
You remember Guinness, the drink?
Yeah.
Did the advert used to be good things come to those who wait?
Yeah, tick, follow, talk, follow, tick, follow. Remember the dum, dum, dum,
yeah,
dum, dum,
left field.
And it's like a kind of surfer, and is there a horse in the sea chasing him?
Sea.
There's a horse in the sea.
Well, that's what Josh McGuinness was like last night. We waited and he came and it was good.
Yeah. If you were going to make the analogy, I'd have done it when he scored his first goal last week.
All right, fine. Anyway,
we did still lose this match.
We did, but
so they come on.
I mean, I wonder. Colwell's never done this, and it's quite a harsh thing to do. Although he did bring off Armani Richards the other day after about 30 minutes, didn't he? 30 minutes played, even though the game had been on longer.
Yeah.
But really, Cox could have been hauled off half an hour into the game. But obviously, that is a real statement, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know if you necessarily need to do that. I think you could have changed it. You could have hauled off. Carriol and just change things We've got enough personnel to plug those gaps in that and go back to the previous system, and then have or just have. I don't know, move Aitchison back, Macmillan out wide, and go two with McGuinness. Because I've got a feeling that McGuinness, Cox as a two. I don't think the rest of our team works if we've got two up front.
Yeah.
Because I prefer the three at the back. But I think if you were going to do that, I think that
that's got a good chance.
McGuinness and Cox would be a better partnership, but that's reliant on giving in last night's setup. That would be giving Cox Aitchison's role and McGuinness Cox's role. So it's completely different. But I do think, I mean, I'd say maybe that'd be more likely. You got McGuinness is the one holding it up, and Cox is the one making the runs. But I don't know about Cox. I think it's just more. Like I said, all those factors. He needs to play more. Has he got the kind of? It doesn't seem to be. Is he making those intelligent runs? I mean, is he? Doesn't seem to be. Last night he seemed to be kind of like not really know what to do. Like he didn't. He was kind of like half-assed pressing.
Yeah.
To the point where it was just like you'd be better off just not doing it. Either do it or don't. Like.
Do you think Cox is a bit of a victim of if he was 5 years older, and we were still in League Two, or we were just still in League Two? Obviously, there's more space because you could. I feel like Gary Colwell's trying to give Cox time to learn the craft, to grow into the role, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But obviously, at the same time, we're in League One. The stakes are quite high. Like
what you're saying is Cox needs a loan, but we haven't got the personnel to kind of like.
And I'm not really
that.
saying that actually. I'm just saying it's unfortunate. Like he's not quite there yet.
Well, I think he probably does need a loan, really. But
he probably needs it to League Two, not to Tiverton Town.
Yeah, but we don't have the kind of backup in place. I mean, we did get Jay Bird on last night, but we don't actually have. I don't think we've got enough depth for that in those positions.
No, I agree. I just think it's just an observation, really. He's not ready for leading the line of a League One team pushing for top half finish.
I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm happy to be proved wrong on this, but I'm not sure he's a leading the line guy.
No, but that was the idea last night.
I mean, we did
wasn't
see
it?
At the beginning when he came back early in this season, we did see him looking stronger. I remember commenting and saying he looked strong. He looked like he could hold. He's still not going to be someone you can. And when McGuinness came on, we saw a lot of this, which is like go long, and he can. McGuinness is more likely to kind of to control a long ball than not.
Yep.
Like he can always get them. He's so experienced. That's what he's been doing his whole career. He's big. He's strong. You fancy him against any centre back really. Cox, virtually no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, half-time came. Colwell made the changes.
Yeah.
It's, as you said, Ali and McGuinness on. Cox.
Niskanen.
Yes.
Then goes to the left.
Yeah.
Ali to the right.
Yeah.
McGuinness through the middle.
Carriol goes off. And instantly...
And then obviously Aitchison.
Yes.
Back a little bit, drops a little bit further.
But instantly it's...
Well, it's
night and day.
Literally completely. It's almost role reversal.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly what it is.
We pretty much dominated them for the entire second half.
Yeah.
And we went from looking like Reading looked good here and we look sloppy to we just look excellent and they can't live with it.
Yeah, that's right.
Ultimately, for me, boiled down to in the end. Well. You already made the mistakes had already been made, so the uphill battle was too difficult to overcome. But with a little bit of luck here and there, we could have been good for a draw. I think we probably deserved the loss given the nature of
the first half.
Yeah, but on another day, there wasn't really any real. We didn't. There's a couple of penalty shouts which weren't travesties that weren't given, and we were unlucky a few times in that the ball fell to us, and if it had just fallen slightly differently, we were by no means kind of robbed. It was just kind of like and Niskanen. What was the time of that goal? Because
Doyle comes on.
It's quite. Does he come on before the
Doyle's
goal?
on at 55.
Doyle comes on.
Yeah.
Comes on for Ed Francis, and he looked great. And like Doyle. I saw a lot of people calling for Doyle to be the kind of first name on the team sheet, but I'm not convinced because I think he looks like he can be an unbelievable player. He's got a great touch. He's like really attacking. I think he can be brilliant. What I think you can see with him is you can see why he's on loan at a lower league team to get the kind of like decision making and the kind of experience to kind of do the right thing on the ball and striking it and everything. He's quality. Yeah. But I think for like tactically and if you're not going gung ho, I think
he's not always the man, is he?
No, but he was brilliant last night. And then Niskanen. who'd already had
Well,
a
the
couple
goal
of
was,
chances.
we felt the goal was coming already, didn't we?
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
And Niskanen had this chance at the back post where you could have just like done a bit better maybe, and you're kind of thinking, oh, I'll just fall to anyone else. But then he cuts inside and smashes one in.
Yeah. Well, it's a Sweeney cross, isn't it? So
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, no, that's how it went.
yeah, Sweeney puts the ball in. Excellent cross.
I mean, Niskanen did all he could before that at 2-0 to deny Melenik Ali his first ever career assist, because it's a great ball from Ali.
Yeah.
But Niskanen just can't connect with it.
No.
But then, yeah, on the end of the Sweeney one, he does it. The harder of the probably chances, as Colboy said, I think.
So that's just before the hour. That's Niskanen's first ever goal for Exeter City. And man, that kid deserves some success, because he tries so hard, doesn't he? He just works so hard up and down the line.
I've never seen anyone work harder.
No.
I don't think.
And he's got some real strength to him. Obviously, he doesn't have the finishing, and obviously sometimes his crossing isn't quite what you want it to be. But he really, really, really works for the team.
Yeah, and it's not like it's like, oh, he tries hard.
No.
The things he does in outside of the end product are really valuable to our team, and he's been excellent.
I think that's his best half of football that I've seen.
I think so. But he's been good. He's been really good in the last few weeks,
Yeah.
and he just hasn't quite. But he could have had 2 goals last night, because he crashed another one shortly after off the post.
He could have had more. He could have had 4 goals.
And then there was and then there was another one at the back post. He could have had 4.
Yeah.
But I think probably, I mean, if anything, he's usually a 0 in 5 chance guy, but he was a 1 in 5 chance guy last night.
That's all we asked for, Ilmari.
I'm really pleased with him.
Yeah.
And
I liked how he didn't even celebrate. He just ran
no,
back
but
with
we
the
couldn't
ball.
have time.
No, I know. He didn't even wave.
He's thinking about the team, and that's true to form for him, and he's good, isn't he? He's a great kind of character.
And then we had another 15 minutes of just really intense pressure, where some of those Niskanen chances came. Aitchison was creating space. McGuinness had a chance, didn't he? And he hit it at the keeper.
Yeah.
Ali, in fairness to him, was making some good crosses.
I thought Ali was great.
Yeah.
I thought he was really, really good. I mean, you've got to make some stuff happen. In the first half, we weren't doing it. He terrifies defences, and I thought he was superb. He got a lot of the ball. So yeah, not every single thing he might fall over his own boots at one point. He might slip up on his arse, but he's terrifying to play against, and he really, really contributed to that. And McGuinness as well, superb. Doyle, like I said, brilliant. Had a good effort. Saved a couple other positions where he could have got the shot away.
Yeah. And then there was that chance, wasn't it? It was about 89 minutes. Maybe it was even into the 90s. And McGuinness just can't get it out from under his feet from about 4 yards out. Remember?
Yeah.
And you just think...
There's a chance for Kramer as well, wasn't there?
There was,
and
yeah. John Lee had a header that went over the bar, so it wasn't the night for it. But did you know, because people were really moaning around us in the first half, like, justified. But everyone stuck around to applaud him. You don't often see that. Lose 2-1 and everyone's really like... I went away thinking, like, that was great.
I know. To be honest, I don't know if it's maybe this game is on TV, which on Sky, which probably could answer for why there was probably about 1,000 fewer people than there should have been.
Yeah, because Reading bought their full allocation, basically, didn't they?
Yeah. And we're still under 7,000. First evening game couldn't be better.
Nice
conditions.
Evening. Yeah.
For going to watch a football match, and still 1,000 down on what it probably would have been a year ago before this Sky deal came in. Anyway, already talked about that. But it was... I'm not sure it came across when you're watching it on telly, just how kind of like... Yeah, it was a great game. It was a really good game. It was really... you were really entertained. Yeah. The first half was a bit kind of like... didn't go our way, but it was a little bit kind of like... Well, okay, this is interesting. We're getting kind of outplayed, and then to see the turnaround, it was great. I felt like I didn't even feel bad for losing.
No, same. Shout out to the kid who was stood next to me, who was watching the Madrid game the whole time on his phone.
Yeah,
with the commentary on, not on his headphones.
Yeah, he come with maybe he's with a friend.
Yeah,
and the friend was more interested in the City
That's
game.
definitely true. Yes.
And then
I just thought, well, fair enough.
I thought they'd left.
Yeah.
And then we're applauding the team as they come towards the big bang.
Yeah.
And then these two lads sort of appeared back again. I didn't realise. And I sort of like, on the kind of like recoil of a clap, slapped him right in the face.
You did. I saw it all. Not the lad who was watching it on his phone. So
no, sorry, mate.
You've done him dirty there.
Anyway, these things happen.
2-1, no points, but a commendable.
I think so.
Second half.
I think there's stuff to. I think there's lessons to be learned.
Yeah.
And I think probably Coldwell's learned them.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Shout out to whoever presses the buttons on the big scoreboard, who when Niskanen scored, no one was obviously expecting it. So first of all,
it said, got a goal celebration.
Who knows? First of all, we got the sign, "Thanks for coming and for your support today."
Yeah.
And then
Caleb Watts flashed up on there.
He was celebrating.
Yeah.
And we never got Niskanen.
No.
So someone's obviously either got so excited they've dropped their Pepsi Max all over the buttons.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or they've just mashed the keypad. Or there is no button.
Did you know that everyone's favourite agent provocateur, Duke Roll, tweeted that Coldwell was interviewed for a different job this week but didn't get it?
What?
Well, I've not seen any more than that, but that's all I saw.
Blimey. I mean...
Got a good record of transfer and, general gossip.
Right. But I thought he was excellent in interview. Maybe he was aiming a bit high. Which job's that then?
I don't know.
West Ham.
Surely not. And I don't know who else would have been up for it. Might have been an even better candidate alongside him. Anyway.
Really? Duke Roll
the thing I heard recently, which was...
that doesn't really... I know you can't say, like, I am looking for other jobs. But Coldwell recently has said a lot of, well, I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah, I know.
And I know that if Celtic comes up, I know it's not that one, because someone else next to City's gone there. But if the Celtic job comes up...
Not as a manager.
Not as manager. I get that there are certain jobs that you wouldn't ever...
Well, the one that you'd be thinking of, surely, and it obviously wouldn't have been this that he interviewed for, surely the one you'd be thinking of is the Scottish national team. Because...
Is Steve Clarke gone?
No, Clark's still there, but they must be... But I know the opinion on him is pretty divided about whether to kind of like stick with him or to get rid. And I have seen the name mentioned. I mean, kind of people were kind of laughing at it. But maybe they don't know how good he is, because he is a good manager. I think the Scottish national team could do a lot worse than Gary Caldwell. Steve Clarke, for example.
Because, there's rumours, aren't there, about Hibs, their manager, being in trouble.
Oh, really? Anyway, we don't know, but even if the source is correct, you didn't get it anyway. So
okay, right.
so that was the match really.
That was the match.
Do you have a pizza twist?
No.
No, not available on the Big Bank, especially if you fly in 10 seconds before kickoff, like you are.
I did. I didn't mean to. I'll tell you what happened was I was all set to leave at like 7:15 from St Thomas on my push bike. Takes me 12 minutes. And then I thought, I've got one of those cups of tea that you can put the lid on. And so I did that. And it took longer.
Yeah, better than queuing up for half an hour when you get there.
Queuing up. So that's why I was snuck in. I was all set.
Yeah.
I was all timely. Anyway, I mean, that's a shame to lose some of those things. It was always going to happen that people were going to score against us. Disappointing that first half was so poor. But...
Yeah, just back to the pizza twist. When we asked people to get in touch if they'd had one, we didn't get any responses.
Yeah, we got one response. We talked about Jack last week, didn't we?
No, but he hadn't had one.
No, he hasn't had one. No,
that's what I'm saying. No one responded saying yes, I've eaten one. But this correspondent Jack says was willing to come up and look through the bins for one.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I've got an update on Jack.
Yeah, turns out he's 11 years old.
So, if you recall last week, Jack emailed in and said he'd meet me at the bins, and he predicted correctly that we'd beat Shrewsbury 2-0. Then I got an email this week from Stevie. Hi, lads. Big fan of the pod. Don't need to read that. I'm just doing that for our own ego.
Goes without saying, if you're emailing in.
Enjoyed the latest episode. Had a little chuckle at you passively aggressively snarking the grammar of your single correspondence email about pizza twist.
Talking about passive aggressive. Your single correspondent. I mean, yeah, okay.
Um,
Steve, yes, we only got one reply, and it was
Steve.
from your 11-year-old son.
Steve, if we're being critical, that's a very long sentence you've written there, but never mind. Anyway, this is well worth it, so I'm not really having a go, Steve. Later that day, while idly washing up, my 11-year-old son came running into the kitchen in a state of high excitement. He proudly announced that he had made it onto the pod. He's also a big fan. Only then did I realise that Pizza Jack was also my son Jack,
Right.
who now seems to be going on an organised expedition to trawl the bins at SJP.
Bin diving.
Bin diving with the best of us.
Freegans. We're freegans.
Steve then says, "This is fine, but I'll hold you fully responsible for any bodily after effects resulting from a soiled twist."
Yes.
Fair
Which
enough.
there may well be.
I've spoken to our insurers and they say we're not covered, so yeah,
Right.
all right.
Well, you got to take your chances with bin diving. What I think
I love
what
anyway.
this,
I love that we've got a family of correspondents.
well, I think what this illustrates is that
we're a podcast for all peoples.
no, getting on the pod isn't really something to particularly be celebrated. If 1 week the only correspondent is one member of the family,
Yes.
and the following week it's another member of the same family. If you email in,
Yeah.
we are going to read it out because those are the only 2 emails we've even had this season.
Incorrect. We've also had an email from Ollie, who's taken our view of Julian Tag Ravioli and run with it,
Oh, yeah.
and he's renamed it. And obviously, well done, Ollie, for thinking of it, because why didn't we? Tagliatelle.
Very good. Well, we're doing this off the cuff. He's had kind of a good week to come up with that.
He's also given us some others. The best one being Ravioli Watkins.
Ravioli Watkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. So thank you, multiple correspondents.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe is it getting harder to
Well,
have
this
your
carries on.
email featured on this podcast?
I mean, we've got so much
Only time
content
will
to get
tell.
through that we are pressed for time.
We are very busy men.
Anyway, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Ollie. Mainly thanks to you, Jack. Good effort being 11 and writing into your favourite football podcast.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were trying to organise some sort of, it's at least legally questionable, bin diving. If you are trying to organise something of that nature with a couple of middle-aged men, maybe kind of be a bit more upfront about your own age, because I don't think it'd be a good look for us to be meeting up with a kid to go through somebody's bins,
Send him in 'cause he's little.
looking for food.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would probably reflect quite badly on us from a kind of legal standpoint.
And also, Jack, when we run
I'm
off
still
and
willing
leave you
to
in
do
the
it,
bin,
but
you are. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's a free for all, isn't it?
St James Park is very badly, secured during the week. I think you could probably go in there, leg it out, jump over the thing, leg it round the pitch,
Yeah.
boot a couple of penalties in or whatever, go through the bins,
Yeah.
whatever, and leave long before anyone's turning up there to kick you out. Let's not forget, some Colchester fans broke in there and nicked the Red Legion banner.
They did.
And no one even knew about it until they turned up with it a few days later in the away end.
Jack, I can't suggest this officially, but if you were to go up the ground, look and see if Colwell's not shredded his application form for whichever job it was.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We'll run a book on it.
Don't just look for pizza twist. Let's
No.
just see what information we can get
Yeah.
from the Exeter City, St James Park bins generally.
How far did the Tagliatelle prototype get?
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Has Ryan Woods kept his CD collection of 100% reggae? Or is he an MP3 man these days?
If he had, do you think he would have binned them at the ground?
You never know.
Yeah. But let's expand it. Let's find out where Ryan Woods lives and go through his rubbish.
Let me tell you something. I used to work with a bloke. This is true. And he had a bad junk food habit. So he would bring all his rubbish into work and put them in our bins so that his wife never caught on to his... Clever. So maybe Ryan
Well,
Woods...
did she catch on when he was like, a big, fat, greasy mess? And who only apparently ate vegetables?
Couldn't possibly comment.
Right.
But yeah, maybe. But yeah, so maybe Ryan Woods is bringing in his...
Doesn't
old
matter.
records
We're
of
going to go
Ryan.
to his house and we're going to go through his bins and see how many, bottles of Levi Roots reggae sauce he gets through in a week. You know,
Yeah.
we're going to do all these things. We're going to do it with underage kids. We're going to break the law in all manner of different ways, and
You can't stop us.
no one knows who we are.
No one knows who we are except the people that do.
They're not grasses. Some of the listeners I can't speak for, but the ones I know that listen, not grasses. Some of them I know full well have engaged in illegal activity of their own.
Oh, is a kind of like nuclear deterrent, is it? You know stuff about them and they know stuff about you.
Mutually assured destruction.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
Anyway,
we'll be back with more useful information after this. Welcome back to the Big Bang Theory podcast. If you want to be like Jack and Steve and Ollie, you can email us bigbangpod@gmail.com. That inbox is red hot.
yeah.
3.
So's our notifications on X.
Red hot.
Every time I look on there, it's like, oh, there's like 20 notifications, and then like, I have a look on them, and it's just gone like, oh,
someone you know has posted.
yeah,
Right.
some other Exeter City football podcasters going live on Twitch, you know, stuff like that.
Is that true?
I don't know. Anyway,
do
the email better, or
send us an email.
no, just that. Yeah,
You can, you too can be mocked. So this Saturday we're away at what was the Alfred McAlpine Stadium, Ireland's most
world
successful
famous explorer.
No,
No,
the Irish builder.
oh, of course he was.
Now John Smith's Stadium, named after former Labour leader John Smith.
Oh yeah, not the booze.
Presumably not.
Hang on, they're definitely not allowed to be the booze because you're not allowed to advertise booze, are you?
Don't know.
I thought that came in like sort of
We're not allowed the shirt, are you?
early 2000s.
Nottingham Forest wasn't allowed Labatt's anymore. We weren't allowed Carling Black Label.
Yeah.
Don't
no
know.
McEwen's Lager for Newcastle or Newquay Brown.
No.
It can't be.
Don't know.
You can't be allowed to name
Well,
it.
maybe it is named after former Labour leader John Smith. John Smith Stadium. It's got an apostrophe. It's actually called the Kirklees Stadium, currently known, due to sponsorship, as the John Smith Stadium. That's what it says.
I mean, there's
But
probably a fair few John Smiths out there.
Yeah. John Smith's Brewery.
Oh, right, okay. You are allowed.
You are allowed.
Okay, so
Heineken has bought the sponsorship rights
Right.
using their domestic John
So
Smith's
we
Brewery
could
as the
be
beneficiary.
called, in theory, the...
Thatcher's Cider Stadium.
Yeah, or the Avocet Stadium.
Yes.
That's one of the Exeter ones, isn't it?
Yeah, or Bishop's Finger Stadium.
Is that local?
No idea.
Okay.
It's not my area of expertise.
No.
Anyway, yeah, John Smith Stadium. So we're going there. We haven't played him in about 10 years. One of the game I remember really well, Huddersfield, was when Harley kept us up. Huddersfield packed the away end because if they'd won, they were going up. This was League One.
Yeah.
Back along, Tisdale era. Harley scored. I think we drew, so they didn't go up automatically. I think they went up the next year.
Yeah.
And
very quickly, on the subject
Oh, yeah.
of Ryan Harley, the Ginger Prince.
oh yeah,
I forgot that he didn't actually say, but that final birthday message at the end of last week's episode
your birthday.
was him.
Yeah,
That was Ryan Harley.
yeah. So it was
The
Colwell
jewel in the
Sweeney.
crown of the birthday messages, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Because an Exeter City great,
absolutely.
even though he went to MK Dons for a bit. But, you know, there you go.
There he
yeah,
was.
so Huddersfield have just gone above us. They've literally just leapfrogged us they've gone fifth and we're now sixth.
What did they do yesterday? Win.
They drew 0-0 away at Wrexham.
They.
I was just, using that vowel to think.
I liked it.
0-0 at Wrexham.
Oh, yeah.
They're on exactly the same points and goal difference as us, but they have played a game more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got Herbie Kane, haven't they? He's about the only name I recognise.
Is he Harry Kane's cousin?
I don't think so. He was at Barnsley, wasn't he? But he's been around for a while now.
Okay.
Herbie. Yeah. Short for Herbert.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I was just thinking of the car the sentient car
Oh, yeah.
of the 1990s,
The VW Beetle.
whatever it was.
Driven
but-
by Lindsay Lohan.
Obviously, that must have been the remake.
It was the remake.
Obviously, there's lots of other people. called
Lindsay
Herbie,
Lohan to play
jazz
Nora
musicians.
Batty in the remake of Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah, why not? Actually, speaking of Last of the Summer Wine,
As we have been.
yeah, if we've got 11-year-olds listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
what are they thinking of that? What are they getting out of us talking
I like
about
to think.
Last of the Summer Wine?
I like to think he's gone away and he's YouTubed it. And he's filled his days with joy.
I mean, it is still on
Yeah.
like some Freeview channel during the day.
There you go.
So maybe when Jack, already having proven himself as a bit of a wrgun, skives off school, pretending
Stevie,
to,
watch out for the signs.
Steve, he's absolutely done Steve. He's gone to work worrying, my son's ill.
Yeah.
He's not. He's
got on Compo's hat.
And he's watching Compo and the lads sort of...
getting ideas for how he's going to bin dive. He's going to take the bin, wheel it up the top of Pennsylvania Hill.
I mean, bin diving is a bit... Only Fools and Horses... No, not only... sorry, Last of the Summer Wine. Kind of... it's the sort of thing they might do.
Yeah.
For some... as part of some wider harebrained scheme.
Yeah, that's right.
But what... If he doesn't watch it, what does he think? Do we need to readjust our references? Do we need to start talking about? You've got children of a similar age. What do they watch on telly? They're not watching Last of the Summer Wine. Are they watching Jack? What are you into? Paw Patrol? I don't know what kids like.
I don't know.
Peppa Pig. He's too old for that, isn't he?
Too old for that. Maybe he's watching Gladiators. You know what? Ninja Warrior, Takeshi's Castle.
All right, but what? Okay,
I don't know.
These are all game shows.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
Right.
Panicked.
Your kid's heavily into game shows.
He's into The Mandalorian. That's what my son likes.
Right. Well, maybe Jack likes that.
Yeah.
Say that then.
Okay. How did we get
right.
onto that?
I don't know.
Last of Summer Wine, Lindsay Lohan, Beetle, Herbie Kane. Right, got it. Huddersfield Town. So, yeah, it's going to be tricky, innit? They're going to have a big crowd. They're a bigger club than us.
Well, yeah, in the Premier League only a couple of seasons ago, really.
Yeah. David Wagner, Hitler's favourite composer.
Yeah. Not David Wagner, but,
No.
Wagner.
What was Wagner's first name? I don't know.
I don't know. We're
Foggy.
Our level of culture, I think, has already been
it has. You're right, yeah.
Illuminated.
Anyway, Foggy Wagner was in charge of them. The Premier League weren't they for 2 years, then they've dropped a bit. Came down last year.
Yeah.
Under the tutelage of Darren Moore. Yeah. Perennial relegator Darren Moore.
Yeah. But there's someone else in between Moore and...
Warnock was there, wasn't he? And
that's before. There was someone in between Moore and Duff.
Right, yeah, so now it's Michael Duff.
Yeah.
Who we remember when we were playing Cheltenham in League Two.
Yes.
And he got them promoted.
Yeah.
The year before we went up, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a long time of Cheltenham, wasn't there? The Cheltenham days. We're back in the Cheltenham days now, aren't they? No, they're in League Two.
They went back down again, didn't they?
I don't know.
I think they went down. I'm struggling to get my head around who's in League One at the minute. I feel like this season's been so disjointed.
Yeah.
I don't know why. All these international breaks, isn't it?
And that, yeah.
Anyway, it's going to be a tough one, but if we play anything like we played second half yesterday,
well, we won't go that 4-4-2 thing again.
No.
I wouldn't have thought. And our away record this season is really good. Say we'd got a positive. If we'd gotten a draw, if we managed to get the draw last night, I'd be going into this one really confident because I think, we're pretty formidable away, and I see Huddersfield as a beatable team. I don't know why. I've not.
If we'd happened to get an equaliser and we'd done it when there was all that pressure around the hour mark, when we were winning that game, weren't we?
Quite possibly, yeah. But anyway,
obviously it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see. I think
McGuinness Ali got a start.
Yeah, but I mean, is McGuinness just get? We've already heard from Caldwell that McGuinness has been overused. But compared to what the initial plan was, so I don't know. Maybe he's not quite. And obviously he's had that international break. We've only seen him play 45 minutes the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs.
Yeah.
Resting. We also saw him take Woods off last night.
Yeah. But that was an attacking move, wasn't it?
But he's played a lot of minutes too. I mean, I think we do need him probably. In an ideal world, fitness allowing, I would like to see McGuinness from the start. Yeah, and probably Ali too, and maybe Doyle as well. It just depends on the approach. What's pleasing about that is we have got a good span of options
Don't
in a lot of
there's
places.
Richards as well, isn't there?
Yeah, haven't seen him in the last couple of matches.
Don't forget, next Tuesday, it's the Bristol Street Motors game, Bristol Rovers away.
Yeah,
Now, that's the game that they've been talking about. Mitchell's got a chance of appearing in.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but there's Mitchell in there. There's Harper to come back.
Harper as well,
Who
yeah.
can forget Pat Jones?
Well, all of us have forgotten Pat Jones.
Forgotten
no
man.
idea.
Forgotten man, Pat
In
Jones.
my mind, he looks like Patrick Bamford, but it's actually because he's got the same first name.
I don't know what he looks like. I honestly couldn't tell you.
No. I'm having that problem with Macmillan, as I know you are.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get my head around who he is.
No.
Why?
No, I don't know.
I called Whitworth Macmillan last night.
When I see Macmillan, like, I go, yeah, okay,
Number
that's
two.
that's
Number two is
him.
easy to see.
When I see a video of him or
Yeah.
something, or like close up, I think, yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
And then the minute that video clip ends,
Yeah.
I've forgotten him again.
Yeah. I'm looking him up now.
And then when there was
What's his first name? Jack.
there was a point last night where he got the ball quite, I think right in he was standing right in our 6-yard box, and I was thinking, who's that?
Yeah.
You said you wouldn't know who he was if he punched you in the face.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Sorry, mate.
No, I
Not you. I'm talking to Jack Macmillan,
No,
who's obviously listening to this. But I don't know. Can't get him in my nut, and I don't know what I can do about that. I mean, if he wants to grow his hair long or get some sort of wacky facial hair and do anything with your hair, basically.
He looks a bit like Sweeney, weirdly. Look at him here.
Nah, he looks a bit like. Doesn't he look like a bit like a kind of like cross between?
Look at him there. That's Sweeney. I'm just showing down a picture. It won't let me zoom in for some reason.
I know what you mean. I think that's not really what he looks like now, though, is
No,
it?
it's not.
I think he looks a bit like Sonny Cox, but older.
Oh, I don't know what he looks like. I really don't.
Anyway, let's not worry about that.
No.
But he'll play. He's
unstoppable.
He's an unstoppable guy. I think that's how he does it. He flies under the radar. Every time a player comes up against him, you're thinking, who's this? And then you forget that you have to like him.
Yeah, maybe that's what's happening. Anyway,
lots of people to come back.
I don't see yesterday's loss as being a barrier. In fact, I think that might be quite useful. Colwell said again, didn't he? We're not playing at full strength. I would say that the second half yesterday.
Well, he's right in as much as we've had a string of really good results, but we've had quite a bit of good fortune in there, and we have had like several kind of like halves where Joe Whitworth has pulled off a string of saves, which has prevented us being in that same position that we were in at half time last night. So we've rode our luck, and then it's kind of we ran out of it a bit last night.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I think it's how we respond to it, and I think at least the response came early and was emphatic.
Yeah, it was.
So,
no, that's right. We're never going to win all the games. I've got no problems with losing. It's how you lose, isn't it? And how you recover and whatnot.
Yeah.
What will be interesting, of course, is every time we get over a bump, we lose, but then we win again, or we pick up some points afterwards. It's a reminder that it's not going to be like Colwell's dip last year.
No. Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
I mean, obviously, if he gets another job, changes everything, but anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he does with Cox. Does he get another start? I don't know.
I'd be looking to start. I'd be looking to give him the full 90 minutes against Bristol Rovers in the trophy, wouldn't you?
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's that. Don't forget to email any other family members. Jack's mum.
Yeah.
Granddad, sister, anyone, teacher. Let us know.
Yeah.
Anyone
the
else?
Law.
The law. Don't if you represent the law, don't get in touch.
No, we don't want your sort round here.
We just don't want you trying to impose man-made.
So, are we saying if there's a member of the law listening?
Yeah.
And I mean police, really. I'm not talking about a solicitor,
right,
or a lawyer. Where people are like, oh, actually, I'm an agent of the law. Whatever, mate. You can't make arrests. So. No, traffic wardens, if you don't count, if you're listening.
Right. What are we
feel
saying?
free.
Are we saying these police officers can't listen to our
No,
podcast?
that's what I was going to ask you. Are we suggesting that they don't? Or are we just saying, if you are, give us a break?
I'm just saying, don't arrest us for things you might have heard on this podcast. Because
No.
A, you'll never catch us.
Yeah.
And B,
You can't prove we've done anything.
we're just talking.
Yeah.
And also, C, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for nothing.
No, thanks for listening.
Okay.
My name's John. Been here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Not to the coppers.
Oh.